Don't tell me Ryan Garcia knocked down Devin Haney 3 times. Don't tell me the ref let Devin Haney hug too much. Don't tell me the 112 to 112 scorecard was crazy. Don't tell me Devin Haney got dominated. I don't need you to be subjective. I need you all to be objective thinkers when we talk about boxing. The only thing I need for you to do is tell me which round you gave Ryan Garcia on that scorecard and what was your scorecard total. Explain to me why you gave Ryan Garcia the rounds that you gave him. And the crazy thing is this. Not one person that had Ryan Garcia winning the fight has actually gave me a round by round breakdown of how Ryan Garcia won this fight. If you notice, the only highlights that Ryan Garcia has is of the 3 left hooks and knockdowns that he scored. Not one person, not one YouTuber, not one fan has said Ryan Garcia won the fight round by round because of this, and because of this. Now, one person has done it because they can't do it. They can't tell you how Ryan Garcia won this fight. All they can tell you is that he scored 3 knockdowns, and because of those 3 knockdowns, he is deserving of the victory and whatever else comes with that. This is how you know you're dealing with a biased, delusional, subjective thinking fan. I'm going to tell you this. I scored the fight. I watched the fight twice. I watched it in person. I was there at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York on April 20th, and I watched the fight in person. I even went back to watch the fight again, round by round, to see what happened. And both times I got the same exact scorecard. I scored the fight 113 to 111 for Devin Haney. If you're serious about the fight game, then you should be able to explain why. I gave Devin Haney's round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6, round 8, and rounds 9 and 10. I'm sorry. I gave him round 8 and 9, not round 10. I gave him round 12. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, round 8 and 9, and round 12. That's 8 rounds. I gave Ryan Garcia 4 rounds. I gave Ryan Garcia the first round. I gave it to him in the building. And I also gave him round 1 on the rewatch. The only other 3 rounds that Ryan won was the round that he knocked Devin Haney down in, which was round 7, which was round 10, and round 11. So round 1, 7, 10, 11 are all the rounds that Ryan Garcia won. And those are all the rounds that anybody has ever talked about when it comes to Ryan Garcia's highlights. They talk about the first left hook that he stunned Devin Haney with in round 1. And then they talk about the subsequent left hooks that he dropped Devin Haney with in round 7, 10, 11. They don't talk about anything else that he did in the fight. They can't tell you anything else he did in the fight other than the adjustments he made to get those knockdowns. So let's do a little bit of math here if we're being objective fans, right? If Devin Haney wins 8 rounds, I don't care how they looked, how he got it, or whatever else you guys want to make up or complain about. The point is he won the rounds. Doesn't matter if his punching power was effective, right? Doesn't matter how spectacular he looked, how wobbly he looked, how many punches were thrown. The point is he won 8 of those rounds. So if you win 8 rounds and you lose 4, minus 1 point for each round, so that means he lost 3 points. then that means that you would have a scorecard of 113. Because Ryan Garcia doesn't get points for winning the round. He only takes away a point from his opponent. So if Ryan Garcia wins 4 rounds, and then you add 3 more points. I'm sorry, you don't add 3 more points. If he wins 4 rounds, and then you take away a point because he got a point deducted for hitting behind the head in the clinch in round number 7, then that means his score total would be 111. Again, because you don't get points added for knocking down your opponent. They only take points away from your opponent. So somebody explain to me how Ryan Garcia had more than 111 on the scorecards. You guys want to talk about a robbery with the 112 and say it's disgusting, this judge should be fired. Please tell me how one of the scorecards was 115 to 109. Please tell me how it was 115 to 109. Because if you include the 1 point deduction from Ryan Garcia, that means that Ryan Garcia would have had to win at least 9 rounds for you to get a 115 scorecard. What 9 rounds did Ryan Garcia win? What 9 rounds did Ryan Garcia win to get a 115 to 109 scorecard? Nobody can explain that to me. They can't explain it to you. All they are blinded by is the 3 knockdowns. Right? It's like Allen Iverson crossing over Michael Jordan. It's like because it was so unexpected, that's all that people can think about is that highlight. But they forget Michael Jordan still won the game. That's what's happening with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. People are so distracted by the knockdowns that they're blinded by the fact that Devin Haney still did better work. He still won more rounds individually. Let me go through the breakdown because I'm going to do more than just talk. I'm going to do way more than just talk. We actually going to go through a breakdown. This is all my opinion on how I saw the fight and how I scored the fight. And if you meet anybody or come across anybody, or if you yourself feels that Ryan Garcia won this fight, then I beg of you, please break down the fight round by round and tell me how you gave Ryan Garcia the score that you gave him. So round 1, I gave this round to Ryan Garcia. I feel like he just landed the more impactful punches in this round, and he stunned Devin Haney in this round. He caught Devin Haney making a mistake with the jab, and he was ready to counter Devin Haney's jab. So I definitely had to give him that round. I had to give him that round for that. Round 2, I feel like Devin adjusted quickly. Devin adjusted quickly to Ryan Garcia's left hook, and he started feinting. I heard his dad in the corner tell him to use your feint, use your feint. So Bill Haney told him to feint. Devin implemented that perfectly. He started using the feint. He was landing the 1-2 and even landed the, the up hook, the rising left hook, which actually wobbled Ryan Garcia and hurt Garcia in that round. So I definitely have to give Haney round 2 for coming back the way that he did. Keep in mind that round 3 came, and it was a little bit more the same. Actually, no. Devin Haney hurt Ryan Garcia in round number 3. So I give him credit for both of those rounds. I feel like he did the better work in both of those rounds. Also in round 2, what I say, he landed a 1-2. He did a lot of feinting. And he adjusted to Ryan Garcia's left hook and made him miss that left hook in that round number 3. Round number 4, I gave to Devin Haney as well. He had Garcia on the back foot for majority of that round. And he had Garcia missing with the hook again in round number 4. Round number 5, I'm sorry, by the way. I just came back from Brooklyn, New York. It was cold out there. I got 6, so if I sound stuffy, I'm trying to get over this cold, so bear with me when it comes to this. Round number 5, I gave round number 5 to Devin Haney as well. I feel like Ryan Garcia kind of took this round off. I don't feel like he did much work in this round. And honestly, I feel like this was probably one of the most dominating rounds for Devin Haney. And I actually remember being in the building and saying that Ryan Garcia looked like he having stamina issues. Like he looked like he's trying to take the round off because he was never hurt. His legs didn't look weak, but he just didn't throw as many punches in this round. So I guess he was trying to cover. One person in their right mind would assume that he's trying to recover based on all the antics he showed us leading up to the fight. So round 6, this is maybe, I gave this round to Devin Haney, but this is the only other round I could say that anybody could possibly give to Ryan Garcia, because he had a little good flurry, got the crowd reaction in the first minute of the round. Kind of landed some good shots. But the last 2 minutes of the round, again, Ryan Garcia didn't do anything. He didn't do anything the entire round. I believe he was really just taking another round off to recover. Round 7 came. This round I actually gave. So this is the second round I gave to Ryan Garcia. One thing I liked about this round, and respect to Ryan Garcia that he did well, was that he adjusted to Devin Haney's adjustment. So Devin Haney was throwing the left jab, and what Ryan Garcia was doing was he was holding his arm out to basically create traffic, or should I say block traffic for Devin Haney, to keep Devin Haney's, rear hand at home. So what it did was force Devin Haney to throw his signature punch, his signature jab. But the problem was, and one of the mistakes that Devin Haney made in this fight, was that whenever Devin Haney threw his jab, he dropped his right hand. He was reaching against a taller opponent. So Devin Haney's throwing his jab, but he's throwing it like this. His hand is back here. And that's commonly known as the archer jab. So that archer jab is what messed Devin Haney up and made him susceptible to Garcia's quick, fast left hook. So this is the punch that drops Devin Haney for the first time in the fight. Mind you, round number 7 is the first time Devin Haney is dropped in the fight. Up until that point, he was already up 5 rounds to 1 on my scorecard and the unofficial scorecard. Right? So in this same round, I think they got tied up or whatever, and Harvey Dock was the referee, took a point away from Ryan Garcia for hitting as he was trying to break them up. So personally, do I feel like Harvey Dock should have taken a point away from Garcia in this fight? No, I feel like he didn't even give him a fair chance, a fair warning, right? So personally, I don't agree with that. I feel like that was way too quick, and it did come off as suspicious. I will give you that. But the point is this. The point was still taken away. So you also have to consider that. So this was a 9-8 round in favor of Ryan Garcia. A 9-8, not a 10-8, not an 11-9 or all this other crap people were saying, right? So this is a 9-8 round. So let's go into round number 8. So what I got here, I feel like this round, Ryan Garcia literally took another break. The man took another break. And this is also the round he tried to do the shoulder roll in. So as we seen in Ryan Garcia's last fight, the shoulder roll is very ineffective whenever Ryan Garcia attempts to use it. It was also ineffective in this fight, and I don't know why he was trying to do this shoulder roll by time or whatever he was doing, just trying something new. Who knows? But at the end of the day, he looked like he was taking the round off. Remember being in the crowd and one of the guys was saying, "Oh, Ryan Garcia is tired of shit. Ryan Garcia is tired of shit." And I was saying, no, he's not tired. Look at his legs. Ryan Garcia is not tired. He's just not punching. He's just moving around the ring. So I assume that he was doing that because he knew that he had stamina issues and he wanted to save himself from all the work that he had just done in round number 7. So he took round 8 off. I gave round 8 to Devin Haney. And also keep in mind, Ryan Garcia turned his back twice in round number 8. So this is when we actually get to see him start turning his back towards Devin Haney. Turning his back and kind of covering up like this and just trying to protect his head. All right, round number 9. I gave round number 9 to Devin Haney as well. In round number 9, Ryan Garcia turned his back to Devin Haney. What I counted was 6 times and initiated a hold, a clinch on Devin Haney 6 different times in this round. So I hear people say, oh, Ryan Garcia didn't do anything about Devin Haney holding. Here's the difference. Devin Haney held when he was hurt in an attempt to survive. If you guys know anything about boxing, that's what fighters do. If you're hurt, you're going to survive. I don't care what you tell me I should do or shouldn't do or how it looks. If I'm finna go down and I need not to lose another point, I'm going to tackle you if I have to. Anything not to get the knockdown. Right? But the difference with Ryan Garcia was Ryan Garcia initiated 6 holds in round number 9 to not get hurt. Not that he was hurt and was trying to survive. He wasn't even hurt. He was trying not to get hurt. Right? And keep in mind, listen, I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia holding was an issue. Because if Devin Haney would have done it, I would have said the same thing about Ryan. If I'm trying not to get hurt from somebody that's pressing me, then I'm going to hold you. You better hope the referee does his job and stops it or warns me of holding. But if the referee don't stop me from doing it, I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm not mad at Ryan Garcia for his holding. What's annoying is that the fans are very biased and they will criticize and jump down the throat of a boxer for doing one thing, but in the very same fight, they will turn a blind eye to a boxer doing the same thing. So it's not Ryan Garcia that's the problem here. It's his fans. It's the people watching the fight and they're not being objective fans. They're being subjective. They're not using logic. They're very biased. So that's my thing. Again, I'm not mad at Ryan Garcia doing the holding. I would have done the same shit. If I was in his corner, I would have told him to do the same thing. But if we're going to talk about one man holding while he's hurt, then talk about the other man holding in an attempt not to be hurt. But you guys won't do that because you guys are biased, but we know why, right? So round number 10, I gave this round to Ryan Garcia simply off of the he knocked Devin Haney down in this round. And Ryan Garcia, I'm not even going to lie, I was impressed by some of the adjustments I've seen Ryan Garcia make in this fight that I didn't see him do before. Shout out to Derrick James. I feel like Derrick James did a very good job at keeping Ryan Garcia's game basic and simple. Not doing too much, not trying to be this athletic, fast-footed fighter and with all this head movement, because I don't think that's what Ryan Garcia is. I think Ryan Garcia has range, he has height, he's a big guy, and he has power. And I think he needs to use those things to his advantage. Trying to do the shoulder roll and all of that, I don't think that's for Ryan Garcia. And I also think that Ryan Garcia has a interesting chin. I'm not going to say he has a weak chin, but I know that Ryan Garcia can be hurt because he has been hurt, right? So I gave that round to Ryan Garcia. Round number 11, I gave that round to Ryan Garcia as well for the knockdown. Now, what else? Oh, round number 12. Round number 12, I gave that round to Devin Haney. And I think Ryan Garcia did exactly what Derrick James told him not to do. So if you all go back and watch the fight at the end of round 11, Derrick James was yelling at Garcia in the corner because he had just knocked Haney down in round number 11. So at the end of round 11, he was saying, don't play with him. Don't play with him. Right? Don't let him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook. Derrick James wanted Ryan Garcia to stop him. He said, keep your composure, but don't let him off the hook. Now keep this in mind. Just ask yourself this question. If you're winning the fight comfortably, why was Derrick James so antsy, right? Why was he so pressed? Like, don't let him off the hook. You got him hurt. Keep your composure, but don't let him off the hook. Because he knows that it was still a close fight, even with the third knockdown that he scored. So he's saying, don't play around this round. You got one more round. Don't play around. Keep doing what you got to do. Don't go out there and be reckless, but hurt him. Right? That's what I got from that. So Derrick James tells Ryan not to play around with him. And in this round, also notice the commentators. This is for my second watch. The commentators themselves saying that this is a very close fight. So you got people on social media saying that the fight isn't close. You got the commentators saying that the fight is close. You got Derrick James, kind of being antsy and being all over his fighter to keep doing what he's doing and make sure he don't let him off the hook. And then you have the unofficial scorecards showing Devin Haney up 7 rounds. Not up 7 rounds, but winning seven of the rounds. This was going into round number 12. The unofficial scorecard shows Devin Haney has already won 7 rounds. Right? So in this exact round, number 12, Ryan Garcia does exactly what Derrick James told him not to. Keep your composure, but don't play around with him and don't let him off the hook. And then what does Ryan Garcia do in round 12? Play around with him, right? So Ryan Garcia came out looking decent in round number 12. But again, just like in one of the earlier rounds that he took off, he plays around the entire round, doesn't do anything for the last 2 minutes of the round. Devin Haney is pot-shotting here and there, just walking him down, trying to land something. And we know Devin Haney was hurt in round number 12. But the point is, Devin Haney never stopped coming forward, and Devin Haney never stopped throwing the jab in that round. So I gave Devin Haney round number 12 for doing the better work and majority of the work in that round. And Ryan Garcia just kind of like, after that first minute, just kind of kept moving around the ring. But he was, still taking some shots here and there. Whether they were effective or not, don't even freaking matter. The whole point was he did nothing the last 2 minutes of the round. So by the end of the fight, I had the fight 8 rounds to 4. I scored the fight with the 3 knockdowns and the 1 point deducted in round number 7 for Ryan Garcia. I saw the fight 113 to 111 for Devin Haney. Now, let's say if there's some fan out there, right, because everybody has their opinion, there's some fan out there that says, well, wait a minute. I think Ryan Garcia won round number 6. Or I think Ryan Garcia won round number 12. Even if you decide to give Ryan Garcia one more round, it still would have been 112 to 112. So what round were you all giving this man for him to come out with a 115 to 109 scorecard? Again, he would have had to win 9 rounds, and he was not boxing that great. So outside of that, I just feel like if you feel like the judge cheated for Haney, then what did he do for Ryan Garcia turning his back 6 times in 1 round? What did he do for Ryan Garcia holding 6 times in 1 round? And that was just 1 round. That doesn't include the other 2 or 3 rounds that he turned his back in as well. Right? So what does that do? There was one point where Devin Haney was punching him in the side. I believe this was like round number 9 or 10. I think Devin Haney was getting frustrated with the fact that Ryan Garcia was just kind of like turning his back and ducking off. and Devin just started punching him in the side. Harvey Dock literally ran over to Devin and broke them up. Nobody was holding. Nobody was holding, but he stopped them. So was Harvey Dock trying to save Ryan Garcia? Because why would you break them up and nobody's holding? If Ryan's gonna sit there and take punches to the side, let him take them, right? But that's something that the fans haven't said anything about. The constant putting Devin Haney in the chokehold, but whatever. I don't truly care about that. But I do want to discuss something that actually matters. Ask me this before we move forward. How do I feel about Ryan Garcia coming in 3 pounds over? I'm one of those people that believe that the 3 pounds ain't gonna make that much of a difference. Devin Haney agreed to fight Ryan Garcia, even though Ryan Garcia didn't make weight. He's gonna, honestly, if you really think about it, yeah, Devin Haney made the decision to continue fighting, but he didn't have a choice anyway. Who in their right mind is going to say, well, it's a day before the fight, I've been training for 3 months for this fight, I'm hungry, I'm ready. He missed weight by 3 pounds. Even though I'm going to upset, I'm going to upset the fans because the fans are biased. They're not going to blame Ryan Garcia. They're going to blame Devin Haney if he stops the fight. Even though I'm going to upset the promoters and all of this, I'm still going to turn the fight down. Devin Haney wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to. He had no choice but to continue fighting. It attempted to be made. Why would he cancel a whole big event like this because Ryan Garcia missed weight by 3 pounds? When he was interviewed about it, he said, the weight doesn't matter. I'm still going to go out here and do what I need to do. Right? Commendable. I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia's weight added extra punching power or nothing like that. I'm not using weight as an excuse. So if you hear any Haney fans use weight as an excuse, don't associate them with me because the weight ain't going to make that much of a difference, right? But here is the problem with the weight. Again, Ryan Garcia isn't the problem. It's the fans that are the issue. The fans are so crazy that they call Devin Haney, every time Devin Haney wins, they call him a weight bully. Devin Haney makes weight. They will still call him a weight bully. Earl Spence makes weight. They will still call him a weight bully. Tank Davis makes weight. They will still call him a weight bully. Just recently, I've seen people say that Boots is also a weight bully, right? But now we have Ryan Garcia, somebody who doesn't even make weight. And the crazy thing is this, he purposely did not make weight. Purposely didn't make weight. Even said that he knew he could not make weight. He could not get below 143, but still agreed to a fight at 140. And not one of his fans says, oh, he was a weight bully. Now, one of his fans said, oh, he's unprofessional. Now, one of his fans said, oh, he deserves not to have the title because he's an undisciplined fighter. They don't make those excuses. They allow, not even excuse, they don't correct the fighter when the fighter is undisciplined. They allow these fighters to get away with things they should not be getting away with. Right? But let Devin Haney come in against Lomachenko, and Devin Haney out here looking like skull and bones the day of the weigh-in, and still does his best to make the weight and makes the weight, and people are going to criticize him anyway, right? And call him a weight bully, even though he made weight. Those are the rules. If you make weight, then you can fight. Earl Spence made weight, so he can fight, right? But Ryan Garcia doesn't make weight, doesn't even attempt to make weight, because he himself admitted that he was drinking during his training camp. He was in camp for those 8 weeks, but he was still drinking. That lets you know he's not taking it serious. He had no intentions on making the weight, but yet people still allow him a pass, and instead of criticizing him for his undiscipline, they say, oh, well, he could have beaten Tank Davis if it wasn't for him having to make the weight. Please tell me you don't see the bias here. Not criticized for being undisciplined, but rather it adds more value to him. And now they're saying, Tank Davis, give him a rematch, but now you come up in weight. Oh, the weight don't really matter that much. Devin Haney lost. The weight don't matter. If the weight don't matter that much, then why were y'all mad that Tank Davis had weight stipulations in place? If the weight don't matter that much, why were you all mad that Tank had a rehydration clause? Both things cannot be true at the same time in this situation. Did Devin Haney lose because of the weight? Yes or no? Right? Because if you say no, then you have to say the same thing about Ryan Garcia when he loses to Tank Davis. Did Ryan Garcia lose because of the weight? Was it? You see what I'm saying? But the fans are just going to be inconsistent. They're going to do whatever they need to do, say whatever they need to say to favor the fighter that they want to favor. That's just how it's going to go, right? But let's move past that. Let's talk about the mistakes that Devin Haney did make. And whether or not he got exposed. Do I feel like Devin Haney was exposed in this fight? Sure. I think a few things were exposed. First, let's talk about the good. Devin Haney got heart. Devin Haney's a dog. No matter how many people say Bill Haney should have stopped the fight. Mind you, this is coming from people who probably never boxed before. Probably never stepped foot inside the ring before. I like what Bill Haney did. He let his son go out on the shield, and his son didn't even go out. Every time Devin Haney got dropped, he got up immediately. Didn't waste no time hopping back to his feet, and he was ready to go. Deer in the park, Deer Park legs or Bambi legs or whatever you say, don't matter. Devin Haney got up, and even after the rounds he was dropped in, he won the next round. Right? He came to fight. So I think that exposed a lot about Devin Haney. That he has the heart. He has the heart. He is a true champion, like he said. What else was exposed about Devin Haney? Devin Haney is willing to make the big fights. But welcome to boxing. This is a sport that you love, but it don't love you back. Because if Devin Haney or any fighter runs around the ring, people are going to say he's running. If the fight don't get made, they're going to say you ducking. But Devin Haney, as a former undisputed champion, is willing to do what he needs to do to make these fights to prove that he's the greatest, right? Opposed to what people complain about. People always complain about the fights not being made. But Devin Haney had a small ring. I was there live in person. The ring was tiny. It was a small ring, and they had 8-ounce gloves, which favored Ryan Garcia, the harder puncher. It's no mystery that Ryan Garcia was the harder puncher. So he gave Ryan the smaller ring, the larger share of the cut of the pay-per-view buys, 55%, and 8-ounce gloves, just to make sure that the fight got made. Why wouldn't Ryan Garcia accept that? You have to be a fool to accept that, especially when you know you're going to come into the fight overweight and you're not even going to try to make weight. Right? So I give credit to Haney. He exposed something about himself, that he's willing to do what it takes to make the fight happen. Right? And these are the type of fighters that we need to praise, that we need to go out and support them by actually buying their merch, buying their pay-per-views, not illegally streaming the fight, actually taking the time out of our week to go to the fight and support these guys instead of saying that they need to retire or they won't be the same after a loss. You guys sit here and complain about the not mattering, but the moment one of the fighters lose, then he's damaged goods. He can't come back. He's chinny. He was exposed. He was never good. He was never pound for pound. You guys criticize so much, but that comes from people who don't fight. Right? It comes from biased fans. Now let's talk about the actual fight. Did I feel like Devin Haney got exposed? In one aspect, I do. And that comes down to the jab. So we finna talk about what Devin Haney did wrong. First and foremost, the most obvious thing that Devin Haney did wrong in this fight was throw that archer jab. We seen Devin Haney do this against Cambosis out in Australia when he won the Undisputed Championship. He would throw his jab and he will arch it, like reach with it. You get what I'm saying? So he reaches and he pulls his right hand back away from his face. So I think that people didn't really notice it before because Devin Haney has a quick jab, but he's also very athletic and he can get out of dodge. He can get out of danger. But I think it was exposed, his weakness of dropping his right hand and throwing that archer jab from trying to rotate his body and put some extension on that jab. It was exposed because he was going against a taller fighter, a fighter with longer arms, and a fighter with a fast left hook. I think that was the difference. And that caused the first knockdown in round 7. And I feel like that was a rookie mistake. And I feel like it was something that should have been caught and corrected in training camp with Devin and his team. I don't know who was responsible for that, but I feel like that was probably one of the biggest mistakes that he made. Dropping that right hand and reaching over to the taller, more powerful fighter with a faster left hook. So it's something to think about, man. If you're throwing a jab, do you really want to exchange a jab for a fast, powerful left hook? I don't think so. But that's what happened, right? So we seen that happen in round number 1. That was a telltale sign, right? And Devin Haney quickly adjusted. He did adjust. But one of the other things that Devin Haney did wrong was that he slipped without slipping inside, right? Or rolling inside. So whenever he would block Ryan Garcia's jab, he anticipated that left hook. So he would change his levels. He would duck down and he would roll, but he wouldn't step inside. So what happened was it caused him to stay in the same exact space, right? He didn't close off any of the distance to smother Ryan Garcia's follow-up punch, which could have been a left hook, which could have been a right hand, which could have been a chopping right hand at that. He didn't do any of that. He didn't close the distance, and he didn't even create more distance. He would just roll in the same place. But I also want to talk about what Ryan Garcia did right at the same time as I'm talking about what Devin Haney did wrong. So when Devin Haney would do these rolls, Ryan Garcia made an adjustment to Devin Haney's adjustment. Devin Haney adjusted to Ryan Garcia's left hook. So whenever Devin Haney would throw his jab, he would immediately change levels to avoid that left hook. Eventually, Ryan Garcia caught on to this, and Ryan Garcia held his hand out, kind of probe, right, to block the traffic from Devin Haney's right hook or a straight right. So he's holding Devin Haney's right hand back, which causes Devin Haney to have no other option but to use what's available, which was his left hand. You know what they call it? The path of least resistance. So because there was no resistance to Devin Haney's jab, Devin Haney would throw the jab again. So it forced Devin Haney to throw the jab. Ryan Garcia probing, which is an illegal move, by the way, but I'm not mad at it. I'm only mentioning it because the fans seem to never mention anything wrong with the fighter they don't favor. I mean, the fighter they favor doing, right? Again, if the ref lets you get away with it, then get away with it. So he's doing an illegal move. He's holding his hand out. He's probing, right? To kind of block Devin from using his punch, forcing the left hand. And whenever Devin would try to roll, Ryan Garcia follows him with the left hand down, right? Kind of on his head to blind Devin Haney from the chopping right hand. He would follow with the chopping right hand. So this right here causes a lot of problems. If you ever seen fighters get hit while rolling or ducking and they get hit with a chopping right hand, like right here or right here, especially from a powerful puncher like Ryan Garcia, this causes the equilibrium to be thrown off, and this created another issue for Devin Haney to worry about. So Devin Haney, like he said in his game plan, in the build-up to the fight, Devin Haney said all he has is the left hook. After that, he don't have anything else. So I think Devin Haney may have underestimated in this instance, and this is what he did wrong. He only not depended, but he only prepared for Ryan Garcia to throw that left hook, which is true, which is one of the only weapons that he had, but he pulled out that chopping right hand. So now Devin Haney had to make another adjustment to the chopping right hand that Ryan Garcia was throwing over top. So I think the next adjustment he made was I'm trying to remember what he did. Let me see. No, I think after he threw the chopping right hand, I think Devin Haney wasn't able to make any more adjustments, because now, and you've seen this in the fight. Now Devin Haney started to look like a deer in headlights. He started using less head movement, and one of the biggest mistakes he made was standing up straight in front of Ryan Garcia. He was what I like to call posing. So that's when you're standing in front of the guy, and you guys are just standing there, not doing anything. He's posing. He posed in front of Ryan Garcia, and he was allowing Ryan Garcia to be first, or Ryan Garcia to make the first move. So this was one of the issues. He didn't give Ryan Garcia anything to worry about. So I think that was one of the mistakes that he made. You can't pose in front of Ryan Garcia and allow him to get his work off first in an attempt to react to whatever Ryan Garcia was doing. So there was one point in the fight where I'm literally watching Devin Haney's face, his eyes, and he's standing in front of Ryan like this. And now he doesn't know whether he should throw the jab, right, or risk getting hit by a left hand, or he doesn't know if he should roll and risk getting hit by the right hand. And there was a point where he tried to adjust to the chopping right hand. He did, but then Ryan Garcia ended up throwing the 1-2. So now Ryan goes from the left hook to the left, then the chopping right hand, and now he goes to the 1-2, straight right hand. Before Devin Haney is even able to make any adjustments, he's getting hit with the right hand, and now he's in a firefight. And this is not his strong point. Standing in the center of the ring, posing, ducking, right, but not moving inside, just ducking in place, getting hit with chopping right hands. Now there's too much going on mentally. There's too many things, basic things might I add, which is good for Ryan Garcia, because always stick to the basics. Shout out to Derrick James. But there's too many things that he has to adjust to. My bad, I was looking at the time. There's too many things he had to adjust to at this moment. So I think that's what caused the next two knockdowns to come. He's like, I don't know where these punches are coming from. So yeah, to wrap up what Devin Haney did wrong. He's throwing the archer jab. He's dropping his right hand. He's rolling without moving inside. So once you roll your opponent, you need to step out of range, or you need to slip and then move into your opponent's stomach, so that way there's no punch that he can throw that's not going to be a weak arm punch, right? And stay low, because Ryan's the type of fighter to punch you on the clinch. So I would rather him punch me in my back and my head be underneath his armpit, rather than to me just stay there and get hit with a chopping right hand. Another thing that Devin Haney did wrong, and I can't even really say he did it wrong, but there was just no steam on any of his punches. There's no steam on Devin Haney's punches, but I believe that's because Devin Haney was kind of concussive, and your punching power comes from your legs. So if your legs are going, it's going to be very difficult to generate that punching power needed so that Ryan Garcia could respect him. The next thing is staying in mid-range too long. against the longer fighter and pose him. Just standing right up in front of his face, just watching each other or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, the things that Ryan Garcia did right, one of the things I noticed inside the arena was the feinting. Ryan Garcia was feinting. And when I seen Ryan Garcia feinting, I was like, okay, he's been training. He's been listening to Derrick James. I know that Derrick James has been telling this man to feint the way that he was doing. And I think it added a good weapon to his arsenal just to keep Devin Haney's mind racing. Let's see. Obviously, like I said before, another good thing I think Ryan Garcia did was holding that left hand out to clog up the traffic, right? And keep Devin Haney's rear hand at bay, which forced Devin Haney to remain on the defensive rather than being offensive, which is something he would have needed to beat Ryan Garcia. Other than that, the chopping right hand. So not much that Ryan Garcia did, but I do think the few things that he did do right were effective, and those things led to him getting the knockdowns that he got. Was he able to use this every single round? No, he wasn't. Again, Ryan Garcia only won 4 rounds, but in those 4 rounds, it came because he found a way to set up that left hand. But other than that left hand, the knockdowns didn't come from anywhere else. So I also hear people saying that, oh, Devin Haney got dropped more than 3 times in this fight. The ref let him off. Okay. The ref let off Ryan Garcia when he turned his back more than 6 times in this fight. So you can't count what wasn't counted. If the knockdowns weren't counted, it doesn't matter. And to be honest with you, I don't even agree with the other 2 times that Devin Haney hit the canvas. Devin Haney failed the other 2 times that he hit the canvas because he was sloppily holding on to Ryan Garcia. The 5th time he fell, Ryan Garcia slung him around because Devin Haney was holding on to his waist. That 4th time, Devin Haney was holding on to his leg, almost like he was trying to lift him up. Devin Haney tried to duck. Ryan Garcia didn't even touch him with a punch. Devin Haney just went down holding on to his leg, and people like, oh yeah, that should have been a knockdown. He didn't even throw a punch. Devin Haney is just sloppy. He's sloppy because he hurt. But you can't just count it as a knockdown because he failed. So I only saw 3 legit knockdowns, and so did Harvey Dock. 3 legit knockdowns. So people trying to add on to it by saying he was dropped 5, 6 times, 8 times. I literally heard somebody say 8. Show me. But that's all I got for you all today. I would love for them to run it back. If they run it back, I do think that Devin Haney makes the adjustments needed to win the fight. But I also still think that it's going to be a tough fight, just like this first one. I don't know where the weight will be. I feel like Oscar and his team, because they don't have to give Devin Haney a rematch, it might not even be at 140. They may have to do a catch weight of 144. That's probably where they'll have to fight at. But that's all I got for you all today. Best of luck to Devin Haney. I hope you come back stronger, and I definitely hope you get the rematch you deserve. Shout out to Ryan Garcia as well. The man came. He did what he had to do. He was able to make the adjustments needed to get the knockdown and make the fight close. And I wasn't expecting Ryan Garcia to make the fight as close as he did. But until then, next time, best in the business, Black Code Boxing. We out.